Have I Got News for You host Jack D was joined by Loose Women panelist Janet Street Porter and comedian Phil Wang, who sat with team captains Paul Merton and Ian Hislop. The teams both reflected on the departing Prime Minister's career over the years and looked back on some of his best and worst moments. However, some viewers were left furious and slammed the episode for being biased and one-sided. Kicking off the show, Jack began the onslaught of jokes against Boris and said, "Hello and welcome to Have I Got News for Boris, I am Jack D. Tonight we wave goodbye to Boris Johnson and look back at his life and career as a father, husband, journalist, Mayor of London, husband, Foreign Secretary, father, Prime Minister, father, husband and father. What will you all miss about Boris being Prime Minister, Ian?" Laughing at his poke at the former Prime Minister, Ian admitted, "I suppose I will really miss being able to say this will end badly because it did. And I suppose I will miss his use of language. Tonight I am wearing a tie with balloons on it, but it is not a party, this is a work event." Janet added, "You say what we are going to miss about him, but how do we know that he is not going to be back?" Jack laughed at her optimism and asked, "Do you know something that we don't, Janet?" "Well, just because of the opinion polls, the Tory members at the moment would rather have Boris back than either of the other two," she claimed. Paul quipped, "This show by the way has been billed by the BBC as a tribute," to which Ian laughed and added, "Tribute? Funny way to say good riddance." Sensing the tone of the show and based on what had been said already, Janet claimed, "Well, I hope it is going to be balanced." However, Ian wasn't willing to let his disdain for Boris go unmocked. "If it isn't balanced, I am going to flounce off and join a podcast." Viewers of the show were furious throughout the episode as they branded their views and opinions as one-sided. At Roberto Sanpier1 fumed on Twitter, "Not at home. Hignfi is a Boris hatefist. Utterly snobbish, one-sided and vile. Completely unbalanced and biased, led by innuendo and featuring foul language and highly personal attacks. At Ofcom, if you let this go it is a dereliction of duty. At BBC, you disgust me." At It's Your Dad a hair commented, #Ginfi is dead. Taken by the loony left-wing bias at the BBC. Martin White added, "At Ofcom #Hignfi at News I am sending this tweet as my official complaint over last night's show of Have I Got News for You. Totally disrespectful, distasteful and unwarranted, although not surprising coming from the biased BBC. Where is the balance?" Stefan Michał expressed, "Watched Hignfi cause Jack D was host for Boris Tribute, and thought it what, sick, be satirically funny at least. 30 minutes of scripted slagging off by the BBC, even Paul Merton looked uncomfortable at the dreadful lefty bias. Please axe it, save money and get some funny talent in." However, some people stuck up for the program's comments and clapped back at some of the negative reviews. Philip Hughes exclaimed, "Usually people like you moan about BBC bias, it then produces a well-researched documentary on the outgoing PM and you're still bloody moaning. No pleasing some people. #Hignfi." At LexChilux1 agreed, "To those having a pop at the BBC after last night's Hignfi and accusing them of bias, I ask one thing. How many times have you heard the BBC, and others, say we asked the government to send a spokesperson but they said no one was available?" Sam McCarthy laughed, "Loved that. Sorry to all the Boris supporters. Your bias, left-wing, woke, snowflake BBC just ripped your man apart." Sick, have I got news for you, a special tribute is available to watch on BBC iPlayer.